Sure. I think we should just break this up into two parts. One is the ease of doing business for capital and the ease of doing business for actually building something up from the ground. And I think there are some things which are common and there are some things which are not. So let's talk about capital. In terms of capital, I think things like gift are a good step, for example. The capability to identify, I mean, there has been a whole series of, I think the last 1 year, both the big financial regulators have been terribly busy trying to make things easier, which have happened, which has actually happened. The easing of FDI, PN3 relaxations, as we call it, the easing of the external commercial borrowing framework, the development of online bond platforms, the new kind of things that GIFT is allowing people to do. All of these and the IPO markets and the capability for the markets regulator to kind of build a domestic market for, from the public markets are all good things that have happened. So when we talk about structural reforms for money coming in, these are all good things that have happened. What are a couple of other things which are not apparent that still need to happen? One is the requirement for clarity on end games when you have things not going well. So judicial reforms or reforms related to timely settlement of disputes, timely outcomes of problems. I think that's a very important element, particularly for capital to be clear that they would deploy here and not elsewhere. Because that competition for deployment of capital is something that we need to solve for. So when we look at capital, I think that's an important constraint. I think we'll never be, in the foreseeable future, fully capital account convertible. We've gotten very far, so that's a pretty good thing. When we look at the other side, which is, what do Indian businesses need to go to that next level of growth, or any business setting up in India to go to that next level of growth? 3-4 important things. One is taxation. We are now in the process of, we've done a good job. I mean, we continue to have these judicial shocks on taxation, but what is heartening to see is the fact that either the executive stepping in or the judiciary stepping in to correct these measures quickly. Number two is the capability for taxation reform coming out of things like GST 2.0, which was an important thing, rationalization, reduction of tariffs, internal tariffs, not external tariffs. I think that's critical. The third element, I think Anupam touched on it, is the logistics of setting up a business. The biggest thing missing in that is land. I think land reform is long pending. It's a very difficult state federal subject to resolve. I think that's an important point that we need to spend some time on. And because of that...
That's not a quick fix, is it?
No, it's not. And I think it should take its time, but I think we need to start that journey fast, because I think that will give people the confidence that you're able to set up that business and get it up and running. Number 3 is employment and labor. I think we've started that journey. We've passed the legislations. We are slowly in the process of implementing them. There will be hitches, but I think as a big picture structural reform for setting up businesses, this is the third element that I think has gone relatively well. Early stages of implementation, I'm optimistic.